Now we are having breakfast. This is our last day here in our tour.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you for making this delicious breakfast
Yeah,
and healthy also.
yeah, thank you. I'm going to talk to Dr. Navras Bhatta. He has been a very senior doctor in cruise, and nowadays he is a trainer. So first of all, we'll talk about how can people get a job in cruise ship. How people can get a job in cruise ship, and what kind of jobs are available?
Cruise ship is like a floating city. Imagine a city
Wow,
floating in the ocean and
wow.
what kind of job you want. Every type of job in the ship you can get it. May not be a more in vacancy depending on the side. Like this cruise has 6,500 passenger and 3,000 crew
Wow.
members, so almost 9,500, which is one of the biggest cruise ship in the world.
Yeah, 6,500 passenger or 7,500?
That was the icon of the sea.
Okay,
So
okay.
this icon of the sea became
So this is the
7,500.
second largest cruise.
Yeah, it was the largest before the icon of the sea came, but now it is second largest.
Okay. And what's the name of this cruise?
This is called Harmony
ship.
of the Sea.
Wow, Harmony of
Royal
the Sea.
Caribbean is the company who
Yeah.
owns this biggest cruise ships. Now you can see the other cruise is coming slowly inside. That is Carnival Cruise Line.
So let's talk about the jobs. You told any kind of jobs are available here, and it is like a floating city. Any kind of means like everything, like security, plumber,
Everything from
doctor,
security, from
engineer.
plumber to electricians to even the carpenter to doctors to nurses to captain, staff captain, housekeeping, restaurants, performance, show, dancers, musician, all
Wow.
type of job. IIT professionals.
Can you tell something about how can people enter in a cruise ship job? Is it same like we apply for a job in our city or in our place?
A little bit different as we run agency in different countries.
Yeah.
So to apply the job, you have to go through the agency. I mean, you can apply directly to the company's website also. So every cruise line has their website with the career opportunity vacancies. But if you really want to process, then even the company will guide you through some agencies. Like in India, we have two agencies. I mean, there are different agencies for different type of job, but the type of job which I have been working as a spa physician, we go through certain agencies. So every country there are different agencies. So before you apply the job, before you get eligible for the job, they will put you into the certain training also. Like I trained the new doctors who join in our ship in India, Bangalore.
This cruise company belongs to which country?
I mean, see, there are certain cruises registered in United States of America, but most of the cruise ships are registered out of America for their own benefit, tax benefit. But their head office is all in America.
So this company is registered in which country?
Ships are registered in Nassau, Bahamas, the Royal Caribbeans.
So people have to come to Nassau, Bahamas to find a job. They have to apply
No.
in Bahamas, or they can apply from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. They can apply anywhere in the world. To get eligible, then they have to go through certain training in their country. We have an agency.
Yeah.
The company's main operating office is always in USA. Now those ships like you see Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, their office is in Miami. Miami is the headquarter of cruise ships. But because of their certain kind of tax laws, they registered the ship into Bahamas so that they don't have to hire the staff from America. Otherwise, if they registered in United States, their staff, majority of the staff should come from United States of America. Yeah.
So people can apply from around the world, and in their place, they have agencies, and they can go through that agency.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of qualifications are required?
It's a similar qualification what you get job on land. I mean, it's a standard procedure. Or what kind of qualifications usually for that particular job you get required in land, same type. Suppose if you want to work for a gift shop, then preferably those people who are working in an airport, because right, the airport environment is similar like a cruise environment, duty free shops.
Yeah.
So they get job very easily, but other people also can get job easily.
What about the language barrier? Like people in Japan, they don't need English to find a job, right? So in cruise, is there language criteria or any language people can apply?
Criteria, English is preferably needed,
Yeah.
because most of the, depending on the itinerary also, suppose the cruise is basically focusing on particular group of clients like Italians, then they prefer Italian speaking. But these ships which are sailing out of United States, out of United Kingdom, they their priority is English language is compulsory, not only the priority.
And let's talk about skills. And this is a cruise company, and mostly tourists come in the cruise, yeah?
Yeah.
So what are the basic skills people need to find a job in a cruise company?
Communication is one of the key skill, I say, because this job is something where you need to interact with many people, depending on your job title also. But one of the skill is you should have a skill to be accountable for your job. You should compromise your family, because you are not going to be at home for certain period of time. Like for acupuncture doctor 7 months, for massage therapist 9 months,
Wow.
for certain housekeeping people 6 or 8 months. So they have to be away from their family. They cannot go back to the home during that particular contract period. So you should have that, compromise. You should have that adjustability, environment. It's hard. Sometimes it's very hard, right? Being away from the family, friends, especially we have children and wife and mother, father. Yeah.
You told about contract period.
Yeah.
So what kind of job actually it is? Do they get a permanent job and regular salary, or they do have certain contract and after that they have to return back to their home country? How long do they have to work in the ship, cruise ship?
Cruise ship job is unfortunately not a permanent job. It's a contract based job. Every employee on a cruise who work has a certain time period of contract. So once you join the ship, then you work for 6 months, 8 months, 7 months, 9 months, maximum 11 months. Nobody is allowed to work more than 300 days at one, after more than 300 days. Then you return back to home, and then if company feels that you are productive or you are good employee for their benefit, then they will renew the contract. If they feel that, oh, you are not suitable employees, then they may stop your contract.
Wow.
Yeah, it's based on
So
all
it's
your
a challenging job.
It is.
But
But
those
also see, since you said it's challenging, it is challenging job everywhere. It's challenging job, right? But the great thing on a cruise ship is saving the money. I mean, I don't say it is earning money very good comparative to United States of America's salary. But whatever you make money here, I see sometimes a lot of American working there, and I said, you get paid better on land. Why do you work on a ship? They say, one is the travel, because they can see different country. They sleep and they wake up with different country. The other one is the saving. So the saving is really good.
Yeah, I also have been working in a foreign country. I think cruise ship is better for earning.
Saving.
Because even for earning, because you get opportunity to save a lot of money,
Expenses,
right?
yeah.
Expenses. Let's talk about what kind of facilities do employee they get in the cruise.
Great thing
do
is,
they have to pay for the food?
No. So food, accommodation, everything is even you don't have to pay your bills. So even sometime in America you have to pay the tax, but if you are out of certain countries like India, Nepal, Philippines, you don't have to pay even tax of your income.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
That's
is the
great
saving of
opportunity.
food, accommodation, no electricity bill, everything is available. And certain officer level get a very nice cabin. They have a facility of cleaning, ironing, washing, every facilities they have. Like I used to get all the facilities without any paid.
So the food, whatever is available in the cruise, they can eat anytime, any food.
Yeah, I mean, staff, there are staff mess and officer mess. and some of the cruise line they allow to go to the guest area food restaurants also. But if you really want to enjoy a specialty restaurant in the cruise ship, then you have to pay for it. Some cruise line, even specialty restaurant, they allow free. Like Virgin Cruise Line recently launched, I was there sailing, and even the specialty restaurant, the food is free. Only you have to pay for a drink.
Wow.
Yeah,
So lodging, fooding is free
free,
and no tax.
no tax.
That's a good opportunity.
That
Huh?
is, yeah.
And how long do they have to work? How long period continuously?
Normally, it depends again with the status of the employee. Suppose as an acupuncture doctor, for us it was 52 hours per week. For some therapists, there was 70 hours per week. Some of the housekeeping staff maybe in between 50 to 70 hours. So normally, the highest range is 70 hours per week, and then some of the staff work even less also. And contract, as you said, it depends on their length of the contract. So sometimes, suppose the captain works only 2.5 to 3 months, and then they go home and then they come back again.
Especially there are two situations in the cruise. One is when they are docked, another one is when they are cruising. Can they work anytime while cruising and docking?
Yeah, sailing days are called sea days.
Sea days, yeah.
And when the ship is docked, like this ship is docked in Cozumel today, right? We
Yeah.
are in Mexico, Cozumel. So it's beautiful. So here, certain employees, they get a time off in a port days. They have to work sea day as a full 10 to 12 hours because the business is very good. Port days, most of the guests, passengers, they go out to explore. So ship is almost like 50 to 60% empty.
Oh, yeah.
So the business is not very good inside, but there are other businesses like tour excursion is better in a port days. So most of the employee get time off in a port day, and sea day they have to work full time.
Sometimes ship is sailing and moving on the sea. Sometimes it's docked. And mostly docking happen in daytime, right? Also.
Some of the port cruise ship may stay overnight, like you see the other ship
But
other
if,
day.
if it is docking overnight, are people allowed to go outside or?
Yes, they are 24-hour open. Security will be there. Some of the port they may restrict for certain time for employees, because employees on board time when I was working was 2 a.m. So night 2 a.m. you have to be back.
Yeah.
But for the guest, it's 24-hour open. They can go, come back. They can go, come back.
Okay.
Most of the time itineraries are like ship sail all night, and daytime they arrive to different countries or different ports. Or sometimes they might have 2 sea days. Sometimes suppose they have to do transatlantic from America to Europe. Then they have 5, 6, 7 sea days, continuous sailing because there is no port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuously in the ocean.
Like transatlantic, trans-Pacific. Sometimes most of the ships, they do world cruise.
Yeah.
120 days, 110 days they are sailing around the whole one round of the world.
Yeah.
I have done that.
And those employees or guests also, when they are in the cruise and they come out in certain islands, are they allowed to enter in that country, or they are only restricted to visit in the port area or close by area?
Most of the employees, if they are returning employees, most of the countries they allow. I mean, they are crew members, right? They carry a crew card. And certain countries, if they go, suppose these Caribbean islands is free because they carry a US visa and they don't check anything. But if you go to Germany, so they may need certain pass access, but the captain makes you the access and then you can exit outside. But for the people, sometimes they restrict because of immigration laws in certain American ports that you cannot go for your first time, second time, if they are your new hirer and all. So certain rules are there, but most of the time you can go out.
You said about American visa. Do all employees, they need American visa to get a job in?
Those ships which are sailing out of American water, they need to have American C1D visa. C1D visa is the visa granted for crew member who work in a flight,
Yeah.
and also the crew member who works on the cruise ships. Okay. So if the ship is sailing around the American water, then they must have to have a C1D visa.
If you have that visa and your ship is docked in New York City, can you go out of the port and travel all around New York City or go little far and come back?
You have to come back in a certain time they allocated from the ship's authority, but you can go out and come back. Suppose the ship is docking around morning 6 o'clock and sailing evening 6 o'clock, then they announce that crew member has to be on board by 5 o'clock, guest has to be on board by 5:30 because we are sailing at 6. So during that time, if they are in an off time, because it depends on the duty also, right, then they can go out and explore and come back.
And what if somebody just hide and they don't come back?
Yeah.
Does this happen in the cruise?
It happens frequently, especially for the employees who are from, I don't say poor country, but those countries where they are seeking opportunity to escape. So they do. That's called jumping off the ship. It's not jumping, but they say jump off the ship. So it happens frequently. That's why there are certain strict rules for immigration that you cannot stay with C1D visa. Even if you finish the contract, the police from United States will escort you from ship to the airport.
Oh yeah.
And they keep the passport
They even
inside
escort
the HR.
means, do they come to the cruise port area? To
Yeah,
escort?
to escort the employees up to the airport.
Police
So
come
they
there.
cannot escape once they have a passport in their hand.
If it expires.
Not expired, normal condition also.
Okay.
Yeah. So those employees are not allowed to stay in United States once they complete the contract. They have to go back home.
Yeah, when you used to fly back to India or Nepal, do they used to escort you?
Yeah. That's a funny thing, but that is what happens.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult task, yeah?
I mean, it's not, for difficult from the American immigration, police department, but it is how it is. And it is nice, you are escorted because it's safe, it's for safety also.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens for every time, but
Yeah.
I have seen
Sometimes.
most of the time, if they doubt, if they see the history of maybe this ship, a lot of people have jumped off or something like that.
Yeah. And any health issues, how do they tackle in the cruise?
We have a medical center. It's depending on the size of the ship. There will be like 1, 2, 3, 4 senior doctors. There are nurses.
Do you have to pay for that or?
No, it comes with your employee insurance. If you are a guest sailing, of course you have to pay for it. Again, that also depends on your medical insurance.
Yeah.
But for the employees, it's free of cost until and unless it is really a serious issue. We cannot handle there. Then they may send you to the hospital on land. They may have to send you back to home. But it is within our health insurance also, so that's a good thing.
That means you have clinics also there. Doctors,
Medical center.
medicines also.
Basic medicine, even little bit of surgery they can do, even emergency care. They have a little bit of diagnostic tools. So it's like a mini hospital you have inside the ship.
Any
That's why there is
conflict?
a job for the nurses, doctor, health practitioners and all.
Yeah, exactly. Any conflict between employees or guests and any fight?
It may happen, right? Sometimes the guest wants to behave rudely, then there are some security laws.
Yeah.
Security guard will come. Sometimes there are fight between the guest.
Yeah.
Then there is a jail also, small jail inside the ship.
inside the cruise.
Yeah, that's funny. And then they put them in a jail, and then whenever the ship is docked in a port, they contact with the outside police authorities, and then the police will come and take them to put it in a jail in the outside the port. And there are so many. Sometimes there are some activities happening inside the ship which is illegal, right? Some like drugs, sometimes so many. So it is like a city, as I said, it's a mini city. So all kind of activity might happen. So they make sure that everything is on place.
And what about the external security threat? Like, it's a sailing, any pirates, any kind of external attack happens to the cruise or not?
It used to happen long back, but now see there are, because of the good communication channels.
Yeah.
Right now, if something happens immediately, Coast Guard people can come through helicopter, through at sea. So it is not happening security threat recently over last few years or over the last decades, but it used to happen before, and because of lack of communication and things and all. But now almost it is 99.9% safe. but you never know. Anytime it can happen. There are so many trainings and drills keep happening. How to avoid, how to be alert.
Yeah.
All that kind of trainings, drills every single week or every single month. They keep doing it. So that's great.
What about the natural disasters like a storm and tsunami?
This is really a good question.
Does it affect to the cruise?
It is. Fire is the biggest hazard. It keeps happening every single time. I was talking to last week also, one employee, the engine caught a fire in between transatlantic ocean, right? Now what to do? Then they have alternate engine. Normally ships has one engine, two engines, sometimes four engines also depending on the size. But every employees are trained before they join the ship. Every employees, not only a firefighter. Even you as a doctor, you have to go through the firefighting training. But there are certain group of employees which are specially trained to tackle those fires. And the other question is natural disaster like tsunami or storm, right? Or hurricanes and all. They look into the forecast and they sometimes cancel the port where there is a risk. So they may go to other port. And sometimes you never know weather forecast. They may face the challenges. I was in one of the ship and ship was tilting like 40 degrees like this. And a lot of things get like broken and all. But most of the time they are pretty much trained to be safe and very good way they turn their sailing to the safe zone because of the weather forecast and all.
Drinking and smoking allowed in the cruise?
Smoking is allowed only in designated smoking areas because you cannot smoke in the cabin. It is a fire hazard. So they have a safe zone where you can go and smoke. But drinking, yes, drinking, there are unlimited beverage packages, so people just come and drink from morning to evening. They can enjoy, or they can enjoy in their cabin. They can order, they can go to bar. There are different bars everywhere around the ship. That is one of the biggest business.
Okay, let's go to the initial question. So any people who is qualified in any kind of job can apply from anywhere around the world.
True.
They can go to the website. Is there any website where they can find this kind of jobs?
Yeah, go to the cruise lines website. Suppose you want to employ for Carnival or Royal Caribbean, go to their official website. In their website, there is an option called career. So in that career, they will show about the different types of vacancies. And then go to that vacancies and they will have maybe a kind of uploading your resume. And once your resume is eligible, then they will send you back the email about to contact to the agency or for doing interviews. And once you have passed the interviews, then they will tell you about the requirement, procedure, training. Then you can get back.
So it's not that much difficult.
No, it's not that much difficult. It's not that much difficult to apply, but it is difficult to get the job because you have to go through certain training, qualification.
And medical?
Yes, we have maritime approved doctors for every cruise line. So you have to go through, a lot of employees get disqualified even after qualifying into interviews. They disqualify with the fitness, medical fitness. So they have to go through a medical test. And if they pass medical test, only they are eligible to work on ship. And it is hard. If you are taking some medication or you have some health issues, you have to sort it down first.
Thank you so much for giving a lot of information about cruise job, cruise life. Now people will know how to find a job and how is a cruise life. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dr.
It's
Navras.
my pleasure.
Thank you for talking and having breakfast together.
Thank you
We
for
have
this
almost
delicious
finished.
breakfast.
Yeah,
We
thank
have
you.
really enjoyed it.